Hey everybody. So today we're going to try the Golden Open again on a black canvas, and I'm going to see if I can get some northern lights, because it's really hard to get good northern lights with acrylic paint. So we're going to try. So let me flip you down so you can see the canvas instead of my puss. All right. So this is just a black canvas. I bought them already pre-painted. And we are going to, oh, I didn't get a container with water. Hang on. I thought I was ready, but I guess I'm not. All right, let me just empty my container here. All right, I think we'll be set to go. And then on the next one, I'm gonna try something different. You know how I hate painting the sides? So I'm gonna do something to kind of get it so that it already has like a frame around it. So that's gonna be on the next one. But for this one, so I know alizarin crimson is a transparent color, and it's saying that that manganese blue is a transparent color too. I don't know. I'm going to try the sap green. I don't know. So I'm gonna put I'm gonna do one corner with this blue, and then the other corner with the green, just so I can see how it's going to show up on the black canvas. And then I'm gonna do like from here up, so roughly three quarters of the way down, because you never want to split your canvas in half if you can help it. Sometimes I do without even thinking, and then I'm like, I should have moved that over. But so I'm just gonna get some of these colors on my palette here. Oh gosh, I've got paint on me already, and I haven't even started, guys. And this way I figured, I know we'll get, some nice pink northern lights, but I wanted to see if we could get some green as well. So I'm just putting these three colors on my palette to start. I have ordered a new thing of brushes, so those should be here next week. So I can't wait to get those, because some of my brushes are getting really old and I definitely need some new ones. Let's see, I am gonna put a little bit of the Retarda down on my palette just in case. All right, so I'm gonna go in, let me wet my brush first here, and then I'm just gonna dry it off. All right, so let's just try. Okay, so this green is gonna be good. All right, so we're gonna put, because I want some green down on the horizon area. So I'm just gonna, and then we'll put some mountains and, some other stuff. And then if I want to do the reflections in the water, I'll just do the same thing. I just don't want to do too much because I need this to stay wet. All right. no, I'm going to go up a little bit high. I was going to switch over, but I'm going to go up just a little bit higher, especially in the middle, because I want there to be some green coming out of where we're going to put the mountains. All right, so that should be good. And now I'm going to go in with the alizarin crimson, and I'm just going to pull some of that over. And at least, I mean, these are like transparent colors, but they're showing up a little bit more on the canvas. So at least you guys can, you know, kind of see. And then I'll just run them together. And then we're gonna kind of go off of, at a skew, just so we have a little bit of different colors, you know, coming out throughout. And let's see, put a little bit up here. All right, now I'm just gonna go into the blue, and we're gonna run some of that through the rest, and we'll kind of like blend it into the previous color. And hopefully we get something beautiful, because those of you that work in acrylics, I know it's really hard sometimes to get, you know, you want to do someone's painting, but it's in oil and you're not going to get that same effect, but you could with these acrylic open. So that's why I'm trying to get used to them, so that you guys will see the different things that you can, you know, you can do with them. Because these stay wet much longer. Just make sure you blend into your previous color, top and bottom, so you don't have any, you know, like unpainted canvas. Kind of want that all blended in. All right, so, and I am going to add just a little bit more alizarin crimson, because that area is really light. So we're going to just pop a little bit more in here. And if that blue and that red mix, it's fine, because it's just going to make like a purple. All right, so hopefully that is wet enough. I'm gonna take my angle brush, and we're just gonna pick up the white. We're gonna just put a bunch of that on my palette here. Just kind of wet my brush, and then we are, let's see, let's start right about here. And I'm just going to wipe the tip off and pick up more white. You want it to be a little bit brighter in certain areas, you know, just add a little bit more white. And your lines don't have to be, you know, completely smooth. I hope this works, guys. Because the Northern Lights are so fun to paint. All right, I'm gonna wash that out. We're gonna dry it, and I'm gonna pick up, you want somewhat of a stiffer brush when you're doing this. And then we're just gonna start, and we're gonna pull up. Yes, guys, it's working. All right, let me just fold my paper towel over. And you can just kind of bring it up as far as you want. If you want them longer, then you just, in whichever direction that you decide to go with your Northern Lights, just have that continue. And then I'm just going to blend some of this. And let's see. It's not quite as easy to do, but it is okay, so with these paints, definitely start with small flicks first. But it's doing it, guys, so. And then we will just so it's already starting to get a little tacky. All right, now, this is what I don't know. I want to try to blend some of those streaks out. So I'm just using a dry blender brush to see if we can get some of that streaky bit to go away. You know, because with like oil, you could definitely blend these in. And this is kind of doing that same thing, even though it's getting tacky. All right. So that definitely is a way to get your Northern Lights. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pick up some more of that red, and I'm just going to go right over that one because I want it to be a little bit more on the, have some pinks in it. And then we will pick up our angled brush and just gonna pick up a little bit more white. And then, oh, this is still wet. Just pull these ones a little bit higher. And then we'll blend out from underneath. All right. Let's put, just because I'm playing, and these, I didn't really like the way these were, so let's get a little bit of green in here. So I might end up having to do that over the whole canvas now, but I'll just pick up some white. Wipe the excess. And then we will so it doesn't work quite as good, but it does work. All right, let me just wash these brushes. I'm just going to try and blend these so that all right, so there's certain areas that we definitely can cover up. Let's see, if I just pick up the alizarin crimson and the white and do that, and then will that, Oh, so that might be the way to do that, is to pick up both of your colors on your brush. All right, let's try it again with the green and the white. So I just got green and white both on my brush. And yeah, that would definitely be the way to do this with this type of paint. So I'm just trying to like go over some of the areas that maybe they'll be a little bit brighter. So, and that's the thing with acrylics, guys. Don't be afraid to try different things. Because if you don't like it, you can always paint over it. All right, so let's get a little bit more we'll put some more green, alizarin crimson and that blue. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is lately with me being so klutzy. I don't. All right, I'm just gonna wipe. Actually, I'm gonna rinse that and then I'll use a dry one for the next pass. So let's do some of the blue in here. So I'm going to pick up the blue and the white and do that. And I'll just grab another blender brush. Thin that out just a smidge. And just need a little bit more blue in this one. Oh yeah, that's better. Yeah, okay, so that's working. So with this blue, you definitely need more of the blue than you do the other color, the white. So I'm just gonna add more blue right over that. So we have that distinct and I'm gonna wipe that. And I'm gonna pick up the blue and the red, swirl that together and make like a purple, and then do a hint of that color. Okay. Not the greatest, not at all, but it's going to work. So that is basically what I wanted to try. So we know that that will work. All right, so let me get some other colors going here. And I gotta find my cover. Hang on. Oh, that must have rolled quite a ways. Oh. So we've got alizarin crimson, and let's get a little bit more green, and we're gonna make like a brown color. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the green and alizarin crimson, about the same color, and that will make us a brownish color. And let's get some sort of a mountain in so we can kind of cover up some of this that we don't like. So let's see. See what a pretty brown that is? Just blend that in. All right, so I'm gonna mix up some more. I'm just gonna use my my paintbrush. And let's see. So that's already kind of giving us some highlights on there because that is blending with those wetter colors underneath. I'm just like slowly blending that color out, and it's giving us like some natural highlights. Okay. Let's wash this. And we've got to get some of those colors down like in here to make some water. So I'm just gonna get some more of the blue. Some more of the green, and some more alizarin. And I'm just going to use a flat brush So we have a little bit of the pink and blue down here. So I'm just gonna put some in. And we're just gonna blend that right in. And some of this is gonna look like purple, and that's totally fine. So we definitely need more green down in here. And I'm gonna wash that off a little bit anyhow. And then we're gonna pick up the blue. And so now that I kind of know how they work, it's gonna be easier to do the reflections down here in the water. What I should have done was just painted over that and start it again. But for the sake of the video, we are just gonna keep on rolling here. Get some of that red in there. Cover up that light spot. I don't like that. Pull some of that down. All right. So hopefully I can let's see. And I mean, we're not going to have it perfect, but we definitely want some of, you know, there's dancing in the top of the sky, so we definitely, and then we want to blur it. So that's why I wanted to put that on kind of thick. Just to kind of, and then we will just pull down. Because reflections, you know, aren't as perfect as the top. So by blurring them out like that, it's giving us that all right. So let me wash that brush and get a drier, another mop brush. And we're just gonna really smooth that over. So where I put the paint on thick, it's blending really, really good. So that's another thing that we've just learned with this paint. Put it on thicker so that it stays wet longer. Let's see. that down and then over. Okay. You wash these. Need another paper towel. Sorry guys, my nose is running all over the place here. All right, let me see here. I'm just gonna pick up because I want a little bit more of that red down here in the water area. So I'm just using the alizarin crimson with some of that medium, just so we can kind of get a little something more going in here. Because I wanted it to have a better blend than it did. So that's actually even away. Just kind of pull that color. Yeah, so, you know, it's just kind of playing around and seeing what works and what doesn't. All right. Just blend some of that green. All righty. Hey, we're getting kind of used to this paint. Gonna get my smaller fan brush. I want the little one. And I'm gonna get my star maker out. So let me see. I must have used my small fan brush. Why can I not find it? I have this one, but this is not the one I want. I want the... Oh, here it is. There it is, way in the back. All right. So now I've got to get some regular colors. Some black. All right. Because I want my tree. I got to put some trees in. So I'm just going to use the regular acrylic paint for the trees. And I'm going to go into just black. And just like what I would do when I'm painting with oils, I'm just taking and pushing down like that. And you just want to make sure that your bottom, you know, is full and your tops are different heights. And then we're just going to bring some right up over these mountains. Kind of letting some of the paint flow off the brush as we're going over. And when you get into the darker area, make sure that your paint is a little bit darker in those areas so they'll stand out. So right now I'm just worried about getting like the top look of the trees across. And you want them all, just all different heights, some tall, some dark, some lighter. And here we can have them kind of coming up, being a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to flick the bottom down just a little bit. That way we'll have a little bit of reflection kind of going on when we put our water line in. So yeah, I have been sitting upstairs for like a couple of hours trying to figure out what I wanted to paint today. So I'm just kind of rubbing these a little bit so that and then I'm gonna take my smaller palette knife. And we're gonna go right into that white and I'm just putting like a little bit of blue through that. It's got a little pink too. But, and then if it's a little too bright, just kind of cut over it. So I'm just, whatever little bit of paint is still on there, I'm just kind of letting that blend in. Let's see. A little bit more blue, and we'll put a little bit. Mix up some more here. And this is getting tacky, which is giving that really nice ripply effect in the water. It's, you know, it's giving that texture. Let's see, I'm gonna do all the areas that have more of the blue in it. Okay. Do a little alizarin crimson in the white. And we'll mix that and we'll make it like a pink. Let's see, some of those would be kind of so I'm just doing the whole water, so then no matter what we put in, we know that backdrop will have the water ripply effect in it. And then I'll do the same on the green. And just kind of and when you're doing these, try to keep your lines straight, because if not, it's gonna look like your water's trying to fall off your canvas. All right, I won't worry about the front right now. Oh, wash that. All right, so let me see here. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that green and white because I think in through here these, you know, would be somewhat illuminated, but not all of them, just. And then see how it makes it look like there's so many more trees? Just by adding just that little hint of color. And it's going to be about over here. And then we'll just start and then we'll switch over and we will do the blue like that. And we need more blue. Oh, I got a full house upstairs. And I'm just mixing some of that blue into a little bit of white. And then we're gonna do the same thing. And these will probably kind of go all the way over here. And we might as well put a little bit of the red in. So as long as you have that darker color underneath, you're gonna get, you know, that variation of, and put a few right in the front here from that little pink spot. And let's do just a few in that side. Okay. Not too shabby. So I do want to pull down a few little, with my palette knife, just to kind of give a little bit more dimension into this mountain. But you can see the paint is getting tacky, so it's breaking just like oil would. All right, and then we're gonna do, let's do a little bit of the red, because there is a little bit of the red. And then we'll put some blue, because I do want a little bit of that red in there. And then we'll just pick up a smidge of the blue. Let's see. And I'll put a little pink color on this back side. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of black, and we're going to finish giving this mountain some just a little something in there to break that up. Because in order for your mountains to have dimension, you definitely need some sort of darkness in there. And then we'll just pop just a little bit. And I'm not going to put any color on this back side because it might be getting shadowed from the other one. All right, let's get, let's see. We're going to put, let's put a landmass in right in here, because this is the area that I don't really care for. So we're gonna color that in with the black. Get this a nice dark color. I'm just going to pull a little darkness down. It has a little bit of reflection here. So I'm going to put in, a limb tree. So I'm going to take that like brownish color that we mixed up for a mountain, and we are going to just going to get the like the base of the tree in, and then I'll put the bushes, and then we'll highlight the tree. All right, we're going to use a different brush for the limbs, and I'm going to take some of the black and some of the green, and we're going to put some I'm just going to go right over that tree, so these back bushes will you know, be in the back. And let me pick up some yellow now while that is still wet. Oh, that wasn't the yellow I wanted. I wanted this yellow. That's okay. Oh, way too much, but all right. Oh. And okay, that looks good. Let me see here. I'm gonna pick up some plain green and just because this one, you know, probably be in the front, it might be a little bit of a different shade of green. And then we can always add some highlights on there after. All right. So let's go back in and I'm just gonna get some regular brown here so I can get this tree. Did I put it? just pick up a smidge of the white and then we'll put some more grassy things in the front here after. But let's get some liner brush here. I'm going to take the black and the brown, mix it together on my brush here, and we're going to start giving it some give it some little branchy things. Thin that down. It is not flowing like I want it to. There we go. And remember, your trunks, your branches are thicker and darker as they come into your tree. Water that way down. And gotta have a little broken branch at the bottom. That's kind of my thing that I like to do. And then we're just gonna give it a little bit of a it's too bright, so I'm just wiping and wiping to get that to darken back up. Add a little bit of brown into it as well. And then the top, I want that to be, like it's broken right there. Fine. And let's put some we'll take the yellow ochre and the green, which will make a different shade of green. And then as, you know, we come out towards the front here, definitely see a little bit more brightness. Okay. Now let's put in a little bit of a water line down in here. All right, got that side done. And let's see, I think on this side, I'm just gonna have some branches coming out. Like there's a big tree over here somewhere. And that is all. All right, let me get my bigger filbert brush here. I'm just going to use black. I will wet my brush just so it flows a little bit better. All right, so we're just gonna have a few. And now I'm just going to go right into the yellow because black and yellow is going to make a green. And I'm just slowly tapping. And as we get down to the bottom, it's going to get a little bit darker because it's, you know, further away. There. I think, oh, hang on. I do want a few more of these, a little bit brighter down in here. Okay. Oh, let's see. I want to add just a little bit more depth back in some of these areas here. So I'm just putting a little bit of black down at that very, very base. And that way we can have it go in like little coves and stuff. All right. And I'm not liking, so we're going to put another bush right here. And we're going to pick up, we'll pick up both the yellows. There we go. Okay. We are going to call this one done, guys. Let me put a signature on here and let's see, what color do I want to put? Let's do... Alrighty, guys. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, and if this is a paint, a paint that you guys would be willing to try. It works pretty much just like the oils. I'm really, really impressed with it. Alrighty, guys, that does it for me today. Have a fantastic day. Thank you. Bye-bye.